lot of people out here last year.
100,000?
That's what they think, yeah. Manny Young Wall, you go up that thing and there's just, the whole way it's lined with people. Starts out steep and then you turn that corner and it gets steeper.
What happens is...
Eric Heiden is America's speed skating hero turned professional cyclist. His come-from-behind victory in the inaugural CoreStates Championship in Philadelphia established him as a top pro and gained instant recognition for this nation's first single-day pro cycling classic. Heiden is back in Philadelphia. As defending national champion, he heads the powerful 7-Eleven team, a squad of talented American pros who tomorrow will test their pedals in America's longest and richest bike race. The team is well prepared and confident.
Every race we go to, we have pressure. I mean, our job is to win the race. That's what we get paid to do.
While the riders enjoy their last leisurely spins around the circuit, a gigantic stage is being set. Everything must be put in place or delivered within the 24-hour period before the race starts. The weather is hot and expected to continue that way through race day.
On the first lap, the staff motos will be out front, Win and Mike.
The organization of a race like this is really an incredible team effort. There are some 400 people that have to be mustered together. Some are key people that come on a lot earlier, like months ahead of time. There are some that come on just for the final week and some that come on just for the final 2 days. And the job of coordinating all of those different people and all those different functions is the critical aspect of organizing the race. You have to have good people, and you have to have people that are willing to work and work hard and that can handle the pressure of putting it all together at the last minute.
The racers go through their own pre-race rituals, nearly all of which involve their legs. They shave them smooth, partly to aid in the healing of nasty abrasions suffered in crashes, and partly to make it easier for massage, the racer's concession to mental and physical therapy.
This clears my mind more than anything else. Gets all the stress. Helps me to relax. Usually tell the masseur to go heavy on my legs, upper thighs, to get all the poisons down my, lactic acid down my legs.
The big day dawns hot. By mid-morning, it is 85 degrees. But the heat is only part of the picture. Olympic bronze medalist Davis Finney.
It's going to be a really hard race. There's no question about it. There's a lot of good competition this year. A lot of strong Americans, a lot of foreigners have been racing in America very strong, and then a lot of Europeans who are strong.
Up-and-coming sensation Roy Nickman.
It's going to be a hard race because, I mean, the money on the line and the national championships, it's the most important single-day race, you know, in America.
Defending champion Eric Heiden.
Biggest thing is you got to have confidence in yourself, and you got to think that there's no way anybody's going to beat you.
The CoreStates Championship is a 156-mile high-speed marathon that puts 90 pros from 12 nations to a 6.5-hour test of strategy, stamina, and iron will. It's an individual race that can't be won without help from teammates, and it's played on a race route that dictates the strategy.
The CoreStates race really is a blend of a number of different kinds of events. It's a road race, it's a circuit race, and very, very close to the quality of the European races in terms of the challenge. But it has one added element that I think is tremendous, and that it is designed specifically to be planted in a city so that spectators and media can have immediate access to the event. It is becoming a legitimate professional sport in this country, and the racers are really responding to that.
The race route, a 14-mile circuit through Philadelphia, captures the essence of the city. Spectators congregate on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway, a broad boulevard that was designed after the Champs-Élysées in Paris. The cyclists pass through here 10 times during the day and finish the race with 5 more times up and down the avenue. And 10 times they tackle the Manayunk Wall, an inhumanly steep half-mile hill that presents the racers with their toughest challenge and provides spectators with a special chance to participate. Steve Speaks, a talented hill climber, gives the racers perspective.
I think it's pretty hard because you have to make 100% effort every time up it. There's no way of really saving anything for the last few times up it. Every time you go up it, it's going to be an all-out effort just to make it over the top.
Thousands come to watch. Few care to try it.
Not for me. Too steep, too long, and too hard.
But there are mental challenges for the athletes as well. How do you pace yourself for a 6.5-hour race? When do you push hard? When do you try to rest? Sometimes the excitement is too much. The temptation is to go fast while the legs still feel good. Ron Justima from Canada and Dennis Erteveld from Belgium broke clear after less than 10 miles. Sharing pace smoothly, they soon built a 2-minute lead. The same exuberance drew Raul Alcala, a Mexican rider on the 7-Eleven team, and the Prince team's Maurice Bitternos out of the pack. Soon there were 4, and Alcala, according to team coach Mike Neal, was clearly developing his own team strategy.
Well, it was a little bit of a surprise to see him in the lead this early. He's one of the members of the team that is favored to go for the win for us, other than Eric Heiden. So I was a little surprised that he's in the lead this early. It's not a bad tactic. It forces the other teams to chase us.
Just as this race can produce heroes, so too can it produce victims. For Ron Justima of British Columbia, it was too much too soon. The racers on the big teams have the advantage. Expert coaches mold different personalities into a functioning unit.
Myself and probably a few other riders will be given the chance to sit in the pack, at least for the first half of the race, and not do too much work, and have the rest of the guys chase down the breakaway, and hopefully we'll be able to get in a breakaway later in the race and cross that finish line first.
But even numbers and talent don't guarantee victory. Underdogs like the small but determined Schwinn Icy Hot team can never be discounted. Tom Brosnowski, last year's surprise 4th-place finisher. Jeff Pierce and Steve Speaks, both capable of winning the race. And the team's most experienced veteran, 28-year-old Thomas Prenn.
I like to watch the race, watch it progress, and I like to make my tactical decisions and decide when I want to expend whatever strength I have at a particular time. So I'm a tactical racer.
For riders and hardcore fans, the day unfolds like a chess match. For everyone else, it's a citywide party.
I was excited to hear on the morning news the other day. I was shaving, and one newscaster said to another, "Are you going to be around for the CoreStates weekend?" And my eyes lit up, and I probably cut myself in 3 or 4 different places. But I thought, this is exactly what we had in mind: the CoreStates weekend.
And for the first pro across the line, a $20,000 paycheck. As the day wears on, the racers become more and more dependent on nourishment.
We eat banana and bread with cheese. When it's very hot, I do not much eat. I drink 3-4 vitamins.
Insisting on your own personal menu is one thing. Getting it delivered can be quite another. To some, food and drink is not enough. The heat, the pace, the relentless pressure have taken their victims. To the fittest and most determined, the last third of the race, the final 2 hours, tells the whole story. Raul Alcala, an outstanding climber and his team's secret weapon from Mexico, has been controlling the race the entire day. By lap 7, after 4 hours and 100 miles, Alcala had clinched the Superoni King of the Wall prize, a cool $1,800. With Alcala comfortably in the lead, the pressure was off the rest of the 7-Eleven team. For the others, the danger from Alcala was real. Pearson speaks of the Schwinn Icy Hot team, knew it was time to react. Thomas Prenn explained.
If breakaways go, we have to go out and chase those breakaways down, and we have to get in those breakaways and make sure that the Schwinn team is covered.
Almost as if to punish Alcala for setting a torrid pace, Pearson speaks blew by him, a tactic that is used to demoralize a tiring opponent. But the Mexican reacted quickly. An uneasy alliance was formed. After 128 miles, the trio's lead was not even a minute, but it was a significant move in the race. Amazingly, Alcala stayed shoulder to shoulder with Pierce up the wall. The effort was too much for Speaks. The rest of the field, led over the wall by Levi's Thurlow Rogers, smelled weakness and put the pressure on to narrow the gap. The 2 leaders grew to 4, then 6. And by the time they entered the parkway with 22 miles to go, after 5 hours and 32 minutes of racing, all the top contenders were together again. The battle lines were drawn. The 7-Elevens, the red-shirted Dames, Schwinn Icy Hot, Levi's, and the powerful Prince Superoni squad all had their best aces still in the hunt. As Thomas Prenn explained, the moment belonged to the opportunist.
We were just coming onto the start-finish line with 1 lap to go, 1 large lap to go, and I saw the Danish rider attack, and immediately that was like a warning sign in my head because the Danish team was riding incredibly strong that day. Right after the Danish rider, Raul Alcala from Mexico, riding with the 7-Eleven team, took off, and at that point, I mean, there was no question in my mind. There are two of these, strongest teams out there represented, and Schwinn doesn't have anyone there. I've got to go. I was feeling quite well at the time, and I took off, and I caught Alcala just before the finish line, and Alcala hesitated for just a second, and I went right past him.
Denmark's Jorgen Markussen, a 36-year-old veteran of 15 years on the circuit, knew it was the perfect time to attack. Unlike Alcala, he had been saving his energy for this one moment. It paid off.
The thing is, Alcala never caught the Danish rider when I did. It was too late. We already had almost a minute.
As Markussen and Prenn settled into a rhythm, the rest of the field was having trouble cooperating. The Danish team and the Schwinns were only interested in helping their teammates ahead and wouldn't join in the chase. For Markussen and Prenn, it meant a temporary alliance between their teams as well as themselves. If they weakened, they would lose it.
On that final big lap, it was pretty exciting, and I'm realizing, well, listen, you've got to be smart here. You've got to go 100%, but you have to have enough to make it up the wall.
At speeds approaching 35 miles an hour, a cyclist knifes through the air and creates a slipstream behind him. Anyone tucked into that slipstream saves energy, and anyone who stays a pace setter for too long wastes it. Sharing the pace is the most efficient way of going fast. When everyone helps, the speed can stay high.
As we approached the wall at Manayunk, the Danish rider Markussen, he was thinking the exact same thing I was thinking. You know, we have to go hard up the hill, but we can't go so hard that we blow ourselves out.
In an eloquent gesture of sportsmanship, Pren shared a cool drenching with the Dane.
The feeling of going up Manayunk Wall with all of those people around you, and it's the last time you're going to be going up this wall, and the finish line is just kind of looming there in front of you. This is the last major obstacle, you know, an actual obstacle before that finish line. You know, we still had to stay in front of the racers, but the feeling was just incredible. All of those people cheering, and they were cheering USA, USA, because, you know, a lot of them didn't really know me, but they knew I was a U.S. rider, and, you know, it was like the United States and Denmark racing out there. Just an incredible feeling. We put in as much effort as we could, yet we still saved a bit for the end. And you could actually see at one point at the very top of the wall, I actually came off a bit from Markussen, maybe about 5 or 6 bike lengths. Maybe it was even a little bit more than that. But we knew that neither one of us could possibly make it to the finish alone together, and we both had agreed that we were going to take it easy going up the wall. So I took it a little bit easier, trying to stay a little fresher and put in a little more effort going down the hill.
But Markussen, the oldest rider in the race, had plenty of power in his legs and seemed ready to press the advantage. The chasers, still full of fight, were not losing ground. But with the wall behind them, the alliance was renewed between the two leaders. For the chasers, there was more frustration. Too few riders were doing all the work, and the ones that weren't happy about it. The Schwinn Icy Hot and Danish teams were successfully blocking the chase.
We were really actually encouraging each other on. We were, you know, he would say to me, he'd say, no, listen, let's keep going, let's work really hard together. And I'd say back to him, I'd say, you know, okay, come on, let's go, let's just keep working together.
Eric Heiden wasn't ready to surrender his title without a fight. He attacked hard from the field.
I think we were both a little bit nervous and a little bit concerned that once we got onto the final circuit, we were really in jeopardy of being caught by the other riders.
The 7-Eleven machine locked into gear. They had to make the pace high and physically blocked anyone who got in the way. Pren and Markussen had only 5.5 miles to go, and they weren't about to give in. Led by Olympic bronze medalist Ron Kiefel, the chasers entered the parkway less than 90 seconds behind. Markussen and Pren fought hard to stay ahead. And the outmaneuvered pre-race favorites worked desperately to narrow the gap. Despite losing the help of Heiden, he had fallen back with bike trouble. Their high-speed chase raged for 4 miles.
I realized with about a lap and a half to go that it was just going to be Markussen and I sprinting it out. At that time, I also tried to start resting just a little bit more. I was certainly willing to let Markussen do a little bit more of the work, and he actually, as it turned out, he was willing to do a little bit more of the work.
The chasers knew they had no chance for first place. Davis Finney, like a football quarterback, signaled his team to prepare for the third-place sprint. For the leaders, there were only 200 yards to go. Pren in the back had the position of surprise. His jump to the side caught Markussen off guard. The Dane couldn't react fast enough, and Pren drove and lunged his bike to the line. a clear winner by a decisive 3 bike lengths. The all-out sprint for third was another story.
There goes Thurlow Rogers, Davis Finney on the right. Davis Finney trying very hard to get by on the inside. And on the left is Alcala. Davis Finney trying to squeeze by, but on the left of your screen, there he is from 7-Eleven, Doug Shapiro. Doug Shapiro.
I really wanted to win the race and keep it an American race and, you know, an American winning that event. That was really important to me.